Welcome to Truth and Transcendence. You can find all our other episodes on truthandtranscendence.com, and you can find my other work on beingspace.world. Today I want to talk about lifestyle trap. I think this is a first world problem, and I think you'll probably agree. I have some friends who, if you look at their lifestyle, it looks fantastic. They've got a beautiful house in the country. They have another house overseas. They can pay for other people to come in and do the cleaning and the maintenance. They have beautiful children. Some of them have beautiful grandchildren. They go skiing. They go to the Maldives. They eat expensive food. They go for dinner in beautiful, expensive restaurants. They're members of amazing members clubs. They're all sorts of things in their lives which look fantastic. Some of these people are very, very happy. Some of these people are actually trapped. What do I mean by trapped? What I mean is that they've become accustomed to that lifestyle. And in order to maintain that lifestyle, they have to continue to work very hard all the time. And as they get older, some of these people are in their late 60s, 70s, maybe late 70s. They're trapped in a life where they're having to work a lot, doing something which is not necessarily very nourishing for them to do. It's lucrative. They earn plenty of money. They have prestige. They have a sense of identity. They have a sense of they know who they are and what they're doing and what their value is in terms of their contribution in their work. And they're able to afford the lifestyle. So maybe for some people, and I know this is true for some people, doing that kind of life and having the lifestyle they have actually works for them really beautifully. But there are people where it's become what I'm calling a lifestyle trap, where the only reason they keep doing what they're doing is because otherwise they would lose the lifestyle. And they don't want to lose the lifestyle, even though they're not happy. So the lifestyle itself becomes a trap. The dinner parties become less something to look forward to, and they notice themselves arguing with their partner when they're on their way out for dinner. They find themselves not really enjoying the fabulous 3-course dinner like they used to. They find themselves not quite so keen on the skiing trip, not quite so keen on going to the other cottage across the, overseas somewhere. They find themselves feeling like they're wearing a suit of clothes that doesn't really fit them anymore. Almost like the suit of clothes is wearing them. And why I call it a trap is because they don't want to stop working because they want to be able to pay for the lifestyle. They don't want to stop the lifestyle because if they didn't have that lifestyle, they wouldn't be able to cope with the intensity and the stresses of the work situation. So the two things reinforce each other, and their whole kind of self-identity is caught up in it. So if you're in this situation, or if you have a friend who's in this situation, what do you do about it? And I would say, I can't tell you what you should do. There's no what you should do about it. And I think one of the dangers of raising a topic like this is it can start to sound like, oh, I shouldn't be having a lifestyle like that. I shouldn't be still working into my 70s. No, if you want to be, why not? Carry on. There was a chap I used to meet on the train who used to go down to London every day during the week. He was early 80s, I think. He would travel down. He would work for a couple of hours in the morning, go for a 2-hour lunch break, work for a couple of hours in the afternoon, and then get the train back home. He was very, very good at what he did. He really enjoyed it. It was very comfortable for him. He had a comfortable lifestyle. He was actually pretty financially secure because he'd invested wisely and been sensible with his money. So he didn't have to keep working if he didn't want to, but he wanted to, and he loved it. And his wife was happy with it because it meant he was happy. It was a happy home life. She could do her projects and things that she wanted to do during the day, and it worked. But I've known other people who are not happy and who feel trapped. And the worst thing is when you feel trapped, but you don't let yourself acknowledge to yourself that you feel trapped. There's just this kind of grayness, the luster going off of life. The natural experience for human beings, in my opinion, is to wake up in the morning feeling enthusiastic about the day. That's the natural state. I noticed I've been on some podcasts as a guest, and some of the hosts have a standard question for guests, which is, what gets you up in the morning? And what they mean by that is, what project do you have that gets you up in the morning? What goal do you have that gets you up in the morning? Whereas my response is actually, what gets me up in the morning is my energy. I want to get up. I'm enthusiastic about the day. I feel grateful for my life. Now, I'm not in a trap. I don't need something outside of me to inspire me to get out of bed in the morning. I don't need it, because that's not what my life is. So I have projects because they're fun, they're interesting, they are creative. This podcast, I'm not doing it because I have to, or to make money. I'm doing it to contribute something, to feel that I'm participating, to enjoy it, and to meet interesting people, which is completely different from a trap. Again, taking podcasting as an example, there are people who've got a really sophisticated podcast setup, which is very, very expensive. And so they have to make sure that money is coming in. And sometimes it's difficult to do that. So they can find themselves trapped in a situation where they're not enjoying it so much because of the pressure. So I suppose really what I'm saying is, if when you wake up in the morning, if there isn't a natural enthusiasm there, maybe ask the question, are you in a lifestyle trap in any way? Are you in any way feeling trapped? If that's the case, have a little word with yourself and remind yourself that it's okay to feel into that, if that is what is true for you. It's okay to feel into it. It's okay to acknowledge it to yourself. And it's okay to kind of observe it for a while. Not necessarily do anything rash. In fact, I think doing something rashly is just as bad as just submitting for the rest of your life to something that you're not happy with. I think it's more important to sort of sit in that slightly awkward place of noticing the feeling of the trap. And like I said, breathe into it, feel into it, and observe yourself going through your day, going through your week, your month, going through the weekends, time with your family, time when you're working, time when you're playing, time when you're resting, and just observing it and tuning in to which parts of this really resonate for me and feel like they're important to me and feel like I'm in alignment with them and that my life's in alignment with me, and which parts of this don't feel that way. And allowing that to be the case. And then maybe doing a few things for yourself to make yourself feel good, like get a few really good nights sleep, go to the spa, go and play golf, whatever it is, spend time with best friends, something that just feeds you. And in other words, take a creative break, a pleasure break from it, and then come back and start to work with the question, how can I transform this trapped situation? What kind of steps could I take to transform this? You know, you may decide that you want to do something quite radical, like sell one or two of your properties, sell off a few cars, reduce your working hours. You may decide to do something like that. Or you may decide, actually, I'm just going to tweak a few things here and there. I'm just going to tweak a few things. But of course, if you have other important people in your life, which I hope you do, then you will, of course, have a conversation with them about it and just see whether or not they've got any feeling of feeling trapped, because they might not. They might be having a wonderful time, in which case you've got a negotiation on your hands. How can you negotiate this such that you feel a bit more liberated and in alignment and they are still happy? So the lifestyle trap, it is a first world problem, because you only get this trap where there's wealth. because the nature of the trap is usually bound up with wealth and materialism. If you've got nothing, you don't have this trap. You have different traps perhaps, but not this one. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful and liberating week. And you'll find all our other episodes on truthandtranscendence.com. And beingspace.world is the place to go if you'd like to find out what I'm offering and see whether you'd like to come and work with me. Have a great week. See you next time.